Let us go.
Oh my god, it's Flea. I love that little guy. Doing this has made me love him more than making me hate him.
I mean, yeah.
Because I've spent like 2.5 days animating him, and he's brilliant.
He is.
Really is.
Fucking hate my
Incredible.
project.
Why?
How much it's been.
The first one is church.
The feedback.
Pretty
I
sure.
click church.
Yeah, I church. I pick wagon. Yahoo!
He's
My church looks so cool.
yeah, it does. With Fleabur Provat as well.
And the little line.
Yes, so pretty. Whoa.
I wonder how it would
moving.
how it actually looks on the planetarium. Like we
Oh.
never really.
It
Probably
would look like that.
probably
I know,
great.
but I want to be in it.
Why are you trying
that's so
Can-
cool.
We can't say it up without it.
That is actually a part of it. FYI.
He is a serious case of play. Is this recording audio?
Yes.
Such a little guy.
Oh.
God, I love this. He's so Fleabur's tiny compared to the camera, by the way. He's minuscule.
Flea is like this big.
Don't
Ooh,
come it's not
ooh.
like
It's the plate. Had nuns take care of people, not nurses. Oh, he moved. God damn it. Why did he move?
He's a bit. He is a lot.
It does say what the answer is because it needs to. But he does a different. He shook his head. He got it wrong.
Alright. That sounds pretty cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it'll be clearer once it's properly finished.
Yeah. Also, why does it like?
And I'm guessing you have like, you know, when it asks what you want to see, patient.
It depends. Yeah, it depends.
That's
We clicked the patient because that was the one with the most interactivity. Otherwise, it's
Let's
just like, okay,
go.
that's it.
Keeping it.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Bye.
that is.
Okay, so stuff that I've done in Unity. So Tony put this scene together. I added the lighting just to make it a little brighter. I modeled all of these children, modeled the walls, modeled this little thing. Basically modeled kind of everything in there other than Fleab. Fleab is the only thing I didn't model. So I added all of the lights in. And then for here, I modeled pretty much all of this, I'm pretty sure. Added the little light there, added the light here, spotlight to make it like shine through the boards of the window. It's really cool. I don't think I modeled anything out here. Hold on. Where is the thing? There it is. Okay. So now looking at the individual models. So we have the staircase, which is, ignore that. It's a staircase and it has some like bumpy texture on it. You've got a bed that's mucky. You've got a bedside drawer that is a bedside drawer. A giant chalkboard. Some big ceiling lights. So this is from the classroom. You've got weirdly disproportionate cutlery and plates. The rusty pots, which are honestly my favorite ones because according to my reference, they are the closest ones. The fireplace, which I kind of don't like the brick is okay, but the logs are absolutely disgusting to me. You've got the backwards shelf. The walls of the classroom, which are again a lot lighter than any of the walls. Like the differences between the walls here and the walls here are very, very big. A giant cross. For some reason, a rusty door. The rust is supposed to go on here. It's supposed to go on the on the handle of the door, but it's okay. So you've got the actual door, which is it's got like offset of all the panels and stuff to make it look more old. You've got the floor of the building, which again is offset because it's supposed to be like old and badly put together. You've got the walls without the bumpy texture that you saw all the way over there. Got more walls. The door. See, this is correct. The door is correct here. It has the rustiness on the actual handle, but the rustiness I'm pretty proud of. You've got the full dining set. Ignore that. You've got the full dining set of of things. The texture didn't quite fit right with this. I don't know why, but then you've got Phleb's desk, which is a lot taller than Phleb actually is for comedic purposes. All of the children that I made, and also the patient. So these are all like just randomly. It's the same model, just with different hats and head accessories, and then also one of them's a clown. And then you've got the buboes with the patient that is actually kind of important. I didn't make any of this. These are all Tony's stuff. So yeah, this is all the stuff that I did individually. I also did some of the voice acting, which everyone did as a collective. You got the script and the animation, which I could show. I'll show some of the animation. Let's go. We'll show the one with Phleb in the house. Where is the house? There it is. My favorite one that I've done is the window animation. God, I'm really good with this camera. Give me a second. I'll have to find it. it's quite a lot. Where's Dylan's stuff? There it is. This isn't Dylan's stuff, but I promise I made this. We'll have to actually open the animation window, which is fine. We can cut all of this out. We're cutting all of this out. I mean, we don't need to, but as long as I keep talking, it should be fine. So this is the animation with Phleb in here. So he goes over to the window, and he's explaining the window, and he talks, and his hands move, which is incredible. This for some reason, this took me the most amount of keyframes out of any of the animations, but it kind of makes sense. You've got stuff like the intro one where the camera moves quite a bit. So you start off in here with a great example of Phleb being so much shorter than the desk. He talks, he's talking, he keeps talking, he does not stop talking. And then he goes to the middle at some point. And then, hold on, he flies over here. Haha. Anyway, yeah, so that's pretty much everything I did, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, have fun reviewing that, Jacob.
Hello, this is a little Unity scene that I have created. It's based on an average 1300s village in England, and we have all the different areas that like a village is meant to have, like specifically in 1300s, everything from the church area to like the shopping area, and I've also included this is like the zone where like the plague has spread, and I will get into that in a bit. So first, let me showcase a little bird's eye view of the village, because I'm really proud of this. I love like the little trees and all of the nature. I feel like it's a good scene. You know, I'm pretty proud of it. For the housing, the great importance of the church, and you know the details that I have already mentioned. Let me fly over to the little church here. So, you know, excuse me. This is like the little church area where Phleb will be like standing in front, and then he's gonna showcase like the church, the importance of like the cross, and how like people believed like fire was meant to keep away the plague, and you know all the things they believed in the 1300s. We have like a little well here, you know, because they need water and stuff. You have the little carriages and like the benches and the barrels. It's all, let me showcase the barrels. I'm pretty proud of them. Excuse me. Yeah, little barrels. I'm really proud of the little detail. Houses. These are essentially the exact same house as you will see. However, they obviously have variation from like the roofs. Excuse me. Have like different roofs. Like this is like red and yellow and darker woods. They didn't have windows back then, but they did have some type of like wooding there, and like the doors. These are the doors Ken made because mine were kind of transparent. I'm not sure why. The walls, they didn't have bricks back then. Well, they did for the church, but they couldn't afford them for houses. So, made out of the materials that they have made them from. You have like the fences and this, again, little details from Ken's. Whoa, what happened there? Little details from like Ken's assets. You then also have like the little shopping area where like people would, like merchants, they would sell their like goods and trade for like better things. But due to the fact that the village was like put under quarantine, some of the veggies have gone bad, and all of these things. I love the little details that I've added. Then also on the topic of farming, they have like little cropping and like farming areas. They all did, and I have specifically made it this area to like be like the farming bit, as you do. Oh, I also have like these little water containers. They had those a lot to catch rainwater and also like use them for like daily uses, I guess. This is the house. Hold on. This is the little fire pit that they use again because they believed fire kept the plague away. The houses. This one doesn't have windows. Then these are the windows again. Ken made. Little trees. Excuse me. Little trees I've made. I love these trees. They're really nice. Also grass. Since the blender grass isn't supported in Unity, I had to like individually make the grass and then like import it over. I've also added a lot of details with the rocks and like the barrels. They're kind of like everywhere, and like the lighting too, like through the housing. I am going to go over very slowly. Oh, hello. Wahoo! Give me a minute. I am going to be going very slowly over to the assets that I have made. These are just like a little showcasing area. So we have Fleeb, the main guy. I love Fleeb. He is absolutely incredible. I'm like so proud of him. You then again have the little barrels that I feel are incredible. You have the little bench and the little wagon thing that they use to carry the bodies. Fences and a more like close up of it, like of the church. Little cross, the bricks. I'm pretty proud of this because I didn't use any reference to the bricks, and they have turned out incredible. They are quite big. They're huge bricks, but it's okay. We learn from that. You then have like all the little rocks and also the fire pit. Hold on, let me zoom in a little bit. Wahoo! Little logs, rocks as well. Yeah, little rocks. Then you have the houses. These are just to showcase the little variations of the houses. You have like houses with these roofs and like these different walls. These ones do have doors, and I will show you that these ones do not have doors. Anyways, little wood details on, little wood details on the roofs. And again, the water thing, you have the little fruits. Oh, I forgot to show you the little rats. They're scattered all across the little scene. I will go back to it in a minute. Little shopping areas, and then again, these croppings and the well, which honestly I did an amazing job. Back to the grass. This is like a pretty small version of the grass, but yeah, you can tell how I've done them. They're basically quite scattered, and yeah, little trees with the variation of height, and a little failed house that was meant to be to go along with these, and then it didn't really work out, so I kind of just reused these and added more variation. I do not know if I mentioned something about you know, like these are the houses with the crosses because of the people had to quarantine. I will show the rat in a bit. Here's one of the little rats, and then there's another one right here, which is right near the house that Fleeb is gonna enter. Yeah, all of the little like wagons are like scattered all across, and then like the barrels and all of this. You know, it's a pretty solid scene. I'm very, very proud of it. You know, it's a village. It's I love it. It's like really nice. One other thing I did was, hold on, let me quickly close that and find again the little here scene manager. Okay, I have also just like quickly cleaned up the polls. I have like, you know, put them in. Where should we begin? And then like church, and then the choice, which is like the animation that Ken made, and then all of the little other ones, and you know, to be continued. They're just essentially all of the choices, like right choices, wrong choices, and also like at the very end it's just this one that runs and it's like empty. But yes, that is, I have made this and I'm really proud. It's honestly, it looks incredible. I've got to say this. I'm really proud of this. But yeah, thank you. Bye bye.
Hello everyone. Right, so this is our scene that you've already heard Ken and Tony talk about, but you won't find anything of mine here because I hate modelling. It is a horrible thing. So instead, all of the behind the scenes stuff is what I've been doing. So I've got 3 scripts, and this is the first one, here. This is a socket manager script. And this is what makes everything work. So here, the main interactive of our project is a website where you choose what's going to happen in the show. So there's polls, and then you choose one of the options. Then whatever option has the most votes wins. So to make this work, in C# we've got, we start off by connecting to the server, and we're defining all of this stuff so it handles various messages that come from the server, and then there's also functionality of sending to the server, which we need to do when we want to create a new poll. But when we're receiving the information from the server, we've got these here. So this is handling a message. The only time there will be a message is when we're starting the game, because that's how it works behind the scenes. I've got a nice big button on the admin dashboard, which I can press start, and the game will start. Then we've also got this vote closure, where this is what the server sends when a poll is complete. So it will just say all the options and how many votes they got. Then we're checking what has the most votes, and then calling a function that will call this function, which will call this function, which starts the cutscene. So in the marathon class, this is the most interesting one, really, because if we have a look over here, Dylan things scene manager. Here we go. We've got this marathon script, and this is where all of the cutscenes are defined. So you can see at the beginning we've got an intro with the name of an intro. So what this is doing is, because there's only one cutscene here, it will just play that cutscene. Whereas if we've got multiple, like we have here, it'll have a name of the poll, so like where should we begin? Then it'll have all the different options and the cutscenes corresponding to them. And that will send to the server, and there will be a poll, and then the cutscene that wins will play. The duration is how long the cutscene will last. Unfortunately, that doesn't work, and I've disabled that because of some different issues. Over here, we've got the timeline player as well. So this, here it is. So we're adding a function to run when the cutscene gets started and when the cutscene stops. So when it gets started, we're playing the audio because you can't directly tie it, so I'm manually tying the audio to the cutscene. And once it stops, we're just starting the next cutscene. Or if there's a poll, it will start the poll. It's the function that checks that. And then we've also got this function here, which will be run once a poll has been completed. So this is what actually runs the cutscenes. This is the directs thing. But that's on the Unity side. What about the website? This is the website. As you can see, it's very simple. There's not much here. But that all changes once the game is actually started. And here is our secret admin page. So from here, we can start the game, and then you can see it's now started. And that sends a message in the chat. The admins can also talk in the chat because they might have something important to say that everyone needs to know, because nobody else gets a voice. And once we arrive at a poll, which we're just about to now, you can see that we have this UI. So it starts with a question, it tells you how long you've got left to vote, and you can choose your option. Then, if for some reason you've disconnected, or you just refresh the page, it will work still, and you cannot vote anymore because it uses session storage to make it so that if you've got a player ID saved, you can't vote because you've already voted in this. So this means we can't be spammed. And even if you open a new tab, it will use the same storage, so it will work all the time. I've also got a bunch of technical information here about what I did, and blah blah blah. Nobody wants to read that, because that's all boring. So the basics of how it works is I've just got a long server here, where it's relaying all the messages to every client. So all the browsers talking to the other browsers, which is talking to Unity, and Unity talking to the browsers. And the server's just this middleman that talks to everyone, because it's so kind. And when a new player joins, if there's any active polls that they've not participated in, it gets sent to them. Otherwise, if there's a poll, it starts a timer. So this timer it's going to check and complete the poll after that timer. So it will check who's won, what's won, and then it will send that back over to Unity. Here we've got votes, and that's logging the votes for the polls. And then if there's something else, which there won't be, it will just get logged to the console, so I can have a look at it and see what I've done wrong, because everything gets broken eventually. And this is the code that just sends everything to everywhere. And that's the server. One last part is the website. Here, it's a very basic page. You just got your header, it's showing if it's connected or not. That's what this little dot means here. If it's red, then it's not connected. If it's yellow, it's connecting. If it's green, connected. Woo! Container that just has everything in. The polls get generated here, and the messages go there. And then there's also this admin page as well, which is a bit more complicated because you've got this button, that form, more buttons, and more text. And then making all of it work is this horrible mess of JavaScript. So it's just function for sending data that gets called by the chat boxes here. It's also called behind the scenes on these buttons and for the polls. Same here for the submitting text. It calls the send function. Play cutscene on the admin page calls the send function. Create poll. This is manipulating the DOM, which is basically just a tree of the website, because websites are trees. So it's just adding children, creating children, and adding classes to children, and of here we're deleting the children. Here we're seeing how much time's left. So this makes the timer that you've seen on the polls work. So you know how much time there is left to vote. This runs on start, so it's just connecting to the server, passing all the data that comes from the server, and handling reconnections and all of that good stuff. And I think that's everything. So it all just combines together into this thing that works most of the time, but not always.
Okay, so what we start off with? We start off with
We start
the
at the
idea.
start.
We
The idea.
start off with the idea of, because we got British history as a
Our
prompt,
theme.
Yeah.
and then the idea was the Black Death because infection is cool.
And we've also studied the Black Death before.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, that's true. And then it's also like a pretty nice, like idea.
Nice.
It's nice.
Well,
yeah.
it's not
But
nice.
It's just
but
interesting. It's interesting.
It's
to talk
there's
about.
many things that you can do with it essentially,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting topic.
and a pretty easy one to talk about as well.
Did we start on the mood board or did we start? Because we did a mood board.
Yeah, there's a mood board there.
Well, this is a little mood board, you know, very happy and
Yeah,
jolly.
joyous.
joyous indeed.
We've got a lot of research just talking about the actual Black Death. So we've got all the symptoms, the treatments, just a lot of. Okay, I go to story ideas. So this is yours, I believe.
Yeah, so my idea was the audience has the control of the character. In this case, it's the head doctor. And then he goes to visit patients at different stages of their disease and uses different treatments for each patient to try and help them survive. And anyone who he manages to kill or finds dead, he'll burn their houses.
It would
So
look awesome visually.
it really would.
It would have looked amazing.
We should have tried to explore that
Yeah.
a bit more. Should have been some fire.
There is some fire. There's two pieces of fire, at least.
There should have been some houses on fire.
So this is the one that I came up with, which is like a watchman who's like. The reason I thought this was cool is because you never talk about it. But it's basically like you would patrol outside of someone's house, and you'd be like watching to see whether they'd go out or not. But I wouldn't really understand. I wouldn't. The difficult part of figuring this out was trying to see where we could put in the interactability. That was the hard part. So I was like, that's not. There's not really like an interactable part of that.
And then you have my idea, which was kind of inspired from, the previous two, and also the actual Space Center characters, which is where kind of Fleeb came out of. So, anyways, instead of having someone to like control what's happening, I kind of wanted to have someone who sort of guides you through it, like a teacher, i.e. Fleeb, and they can take the audience back in time and just really show what happened back then. So it's kind of like, oh, you're really there and you really see what happens, and then all the interesting details like Yahoo.
Like Yahoo. Oh yeah.
Audience interactions. So we had quite a few ideas here, didn't we?
We did, yeah. I mean, we went with. I believe that we went with the second one, with what actions we did. Well, kind of.
Yeah.
I think this
Essentially.
was mainly geared towards the plague doctor idea that you came up with.
Yeah. So we thought if the audience is having control of the character, they need to somehow choose what actions it should take. And when everyone's sitting down in a planetarium, it's not like they have a computer or controller, they can't just control the characters directly. But most people have one thing in common. And what's that?
I have a phone.
Yes.
Ah.
So, what better way of controlling a character than having everyone use the one thing they always have with them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the thing that we went with did work well with the interactability because it
Mhm.
wasn't it's not massively complicated to understand. It's just like you pick a thing and then it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even though there are options, some of them are wrong, and still kind of go with the same.
Yeah, I did start to realise you kind of went with a bit of a quiz in the middle of it,
Yeah.
which I think is kind of cool. I quite like that.
Yeah, quizzes are nice.
Yeah, it's
I think once we've finished this, we might add a bit more of a quiz at
yeah,
the end.
yeah, yeah.
So, because we're back in the classroom, so
Because
it's a
you're
good
testing
setting
people's
for a
knowledge.
quiz.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, that would be
Pop quiz.
cool.
That'd be sick.
It'd be nice to make
Um,
like a series out of it.
An entire series.
Do you-
Make Fleeb go back in time in different places.
Now that we're finished, do you think that the interaction method we went with was a good idea?
I quite like it. I
I
mean,
like it,
I
yeah.
think it's quite good. It's direct in the way that the audience gets to choose like what they get to go with. I do quite like it.
Yeah,
How
I
do you feel
agree.
about it?
It's like a really, like, I know other people in our group, in like the other teams have sort of done something similar, but like,
No, they've
Yeah,
gone with
no,
like
they
full
really-
games. Yeah.
no, we have a pretty unique idea.
Yeah,
It's
we
like,
definitely do.
and it's fun. It's like I love it. You just
Mhm.
like scan a little thing, and then you have like options on your phone. It's cool.
I think I underestimated how much work it would be by
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a good idea.
Well, we essentially made a space-centered planetarium show, but with interactability.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, we took
Better.
them like a year.
Yeah.
And we've done it in
We did it
2
in 3
months.
months. Yeah, it's. I mean, not nearly to the amount of like
Yeah.
detail, but it's a
Still
lot of
impressive.
work. Yeah.
Especially considering that we've never done anything like it before.
Yeah, true. We've had to learn a lot of new stuff to kind of go along with it. Like I had to learn animating in Unity. Not a thing
Yeah.
I'm used to.
Yeah, and then I was like doing the polls and all that. That was quite a struggle. Oh, and then baking. Oh my god, I hated baking. I loved making the textures, but then the baking.
Baking sucks. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
if
not
I
a fan
didn't,
of it.
before I found out that Smart Unwrap is a thing,
Oh my
God.
god. Yeah.
it was
Baking.
actually like a fight. With, like,
Unwrapping is like I believe the most difficult part of modeling. It's just like
Yeah.
I know Jacob keeps saying you get to the point where it's like you won't worry about
Yeah.
it, but it's not great.
It's at least right now at the beginning, it's not a very
It's
enjoyable.
not a fun thing to do. No.
Oh well.
I had to learn how to connect 2 entirely separate code bases together,
Oh yeah.
which that was definitely a journey.
Yeah.
Because they're written in completely different languages
Mm.
and running in completely different places. That wasn't fun.
What's
Yeah.
this? That's
This is the white box.
We've got some white boxes.
which
I
you
forgot
know
we did that.
Yeah, we've changed it quite a bit from.
we've
from
changed it a little
this.
bit, but it's still
It still keeps,
quite
like, the
relates.
same
This
layout.
this is very similar to actually what we
Yeah,
do.
yeah, that is what we did
And then Fleeb stands here
in the very middle of
in
it.
the middle.
Oh.
This is a great slide. And then all references. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else we need to look at?
Um,
Because like we kind of like.
yeah, I think that's most of it.
For real this time.
Okay.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Vlog Nation. Good
Thank-
night.